Hi, this is Helena Hart, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stop settling for crumbs in your love life. I recently posted a video on what to do if you still feel attached to a man who's only giving you crumbs, and that video got such a huge response. It really just made me realize how many women are in this situation, and it's really my mission to help you if you're in this situation because I've been there myself and I know how painful this can be. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you if this is something you're experiencing right now. But before I get started, if you're new to my channel, click the button to subscribe to get all of my videos on how to attract the man and the relationship you want. So like I mentioned, this is a really common situation. I hear from women every day, literally, who are at this place where a man is breadcrumbing her and they just feel so attached to him that they can't let him go and move on. Or perhaps a man was pursuing her strongly at the beginning of the relationship and now he's backed off or pulled away, or he's contacting her less and less, and they're just stuck in this place where they feel like they're accepting crumbs or maybe even begging for crumbs in certain situations if they're really caught in an obsession with a particular man. So this is something I really want to help you turn around if you're going through this right now. So what's happening here typically is your subconscious mind is pulling you towards what feels familiar to you. And your subconscious mind, it's just so committed to homeostasis and survival. Its main concern is protecting you and keeping you safe. It doesn't make decisions about what's healthy for you and what's unhealthy. Your prefrontal cortex is what makes those kinds of decisions. Like, this is a good situation for me, or this isn't a good situation. This man is not right for me. But your subconscious doesn't do that. Your subconscious just wants to say, this is familiar. You've survived this or something similar to this. You can handle this. And it's pulling you towards what feels familiar. So if you're in a situation with a man who's emotionally unavailable, or he's breadcrumbing you, or just making you feel like you're not quite good enough, whatever the case may be, there's something about that situation likely that feels familiar to you on a deep level, sometimes a subconscious level where you're not even aware of it. A lot of women say, well, I refuse to believe that I would attract a man who would treat me so badly. But the reality of the situation is, if you're still there, if you're even asking this question or feeling attached to a man who isn't treating you right or isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing in the relationship, there's something about that feels safe to you or feels familiar. And your subconscious mind is what creates that spark of attraction with the kind of man that fits into your old patterns, likely, of what love felt like to you earlier in life. So earlier in life, you develop patterns of what love is, what love equals, and this could have to do with what your parents or caretakers were like. And then we kind of forget that we do that, and we go into our adult years and we sort of teach people how to treat us. We have this choreography where we just kind of hand people a script of how to treat us in a way that fits in with those old patterns of what love used to feel like to us earlier in life. It's a really complicated process. My background's in psychology, so I'm interested in this kind of stuff. I know a lot about it, but that's sort of the basics. Your subconscious mind is creating this spark of attraction and pulling you towards what feels familiar to you often. If you're in this situation, of course, every situation is different. But what you need to do in order to stop settling for crumbs in your love life is actually start changing what feels familiar to you. So if what feels familiar to you is men who are emotionally unavailable, men who just give you crumbs, or who don't want to commit to a real relationship, you have to turn that around. And you do that, if you were to work with me and be my client, the way I do this with women is by working from the inside out and the outside in at the same time to actually change what feels familiar to them. So working from the inside out would be really raising your self-esteem and your own self-worth and value in your own eyes on, a very deep level, in a way that's permanent and lasting. And working on your beliefs. If you have these beliefs like, no man would want to commit to me if he were to really see who I truly was deep down. That's just one example. There's all different kinds of beliefs you could have. Maybe it could be like all men are cheaters or liars or flakes, or they don't want to commit. Whatever those belief systems are that you have, it's really, important to take a look at that, because I truly believe that your beliefs are creating your reality. Our brains are kind of hardwired to want to be right. So if you have these beliefs like all men cheat, you're going to go out there in the world when you're dating and attract men that confirm your beliefs. It's another defense mechanism designed to keep you safe, that might have kept you safe and protected you earlier in life, but now those same defenses can really become maladaptive if they're causing you to attract men who are not right for you, or causing you to keep good men away or push love away. So for example, if you have this belief that all men cheat, you're going to go out there and attract men who are unfaithful to confirm that belief and those things you're telling yourself. So then you can say, oh, I was right to not trust men all along. I was right to have these fears and doubts, and it just keeps you safe. You can see how that would just keep you from wanting to actually go out there and attract someone who could really be right for you. And if you're afraid of real intimacy, which most of us are. I certainly had this going on for myself. I was deeply afraid of intimacy and commitment. So I would attract men who didn't want to commit and who were emotionally unavailable, because that's where we both felt safe. And the chemistry was kind of off the charts with men like that, because we both felt safe. And, my subconscious was just pulling me in that direction towards these men who would only give me crumbs, who were never going to commit to a real relationship with me. And maybe you can relate. I'd love to hear from you. Type your situation into the comment section, and you'll start to see how common this really is. So basically, in order to stop settling for crumbs in your love life, you have to start changing what feels familiar, working from the inside out, like I mentioned, also working from the outside in. This could look like setting some really strong boundaries and sticking to them. For example, from this point forward, only spending time with men who are 100% available and who are really, willing and able to have the kind of relationship you want, and who are available for that. So if a man is not available in some way, or his energy is not coming towards you, he wouldn't even qualify to get to spend any time with you at all based on that boundary. So working from the inside out and the outside in at the same time. Working from the outside in could also look like the way you communicate with men, how you express your boundaries in a really authentic, confident way while staying in your feminine energy. Really, really important. So that's kind of the basics of what I wanted to share here. How to stop settling for crumbs by changing what feels familiar to you. What happens when you do this is that you'll start to be attracted to a different kind of man, a better kind of man who wants to treat you right and do what he's supposed to do in the relationship. A man who would never dream of breadcrumbing you or pulling away for long periods of time, or being hot and cold, or displaying any kind of back and forth behavior or playing games. So what happens when you change what feels familiar is that when the old type of men show up, maybe the men who are unavailable or afraid of commitment, that won't even feel right to you anymore. Something in your intuition will say something doesn't feel right here, and you'll actually get bored with those men and lose interest. I have seen that happen over and over again in pretty much all of my clients. The men they were stuck on before, who were just giving them crumbs, will show back up once they truly get some self-esteem and move on and set some boundaries. The men always show back up for the most part, but then the woman just gets bored and truly loses interest if he's not capable of treating her right and, having the kind of relationship that she wants. You can actually change the kind of man you are attracting and attracted to. I've seen this happen over and over. I actually did a whole program on this called Stop Attracting the Wrong Men So You Can Attract the Right One. And I hosted a free training, a free audio training on exactly how to do this. So I'll post a link to that in the description right below this video. It's totally free. You don't have to put your email address in or anything. You just hit play, and I'll give you that information. It's just such a life-changing training that I did. I get feedback on that every day. So check that out if this is something you're going through. And, if you're looking to attract a really high quality, emotionally available man and inspire his love and commitment, check out my free 3 Keys to Attract the Man You Want report and audio training. That one's also free on my website, helenahartcoaching.com. So I'll post links to both of those in the description right underneath this video. And I love hearing from you. Let me know your thoughts and experiences with this in the comment section. Maybe everyone can help each other out. I love when that happens. And I will see you in the next video.